Ready to dive into the shadows of the internet and explore the fascinating and enigmatic history of Anonymous, the world's most notorious and mysterious hacker group? Imagine a faceless collective with no leaders, but an unparalleled power to challenge authorities and corporations. If you think you know who is behind the iconic Guy Fawkes mask, prepare to be surprised. Today, we will unveil this group's boldest operations and delve into theories suggesting they might be funded by hidden powers. This is a deep dive into the unknown, where truth and mystery intertwine in a plot of hacktivism and global intrigue. Let's go. Imagine a place where anonymity is the rule rather than the exception. In the early 2000s, on the obscure and controversial forum 4chan, a collective emerged that would redefine the concept of digital resistance. Here, amid memes and trolls, Anonymous was born, a group that would mold itself into an unpredictable and feared force in cyberspace. Anonymous started as a chaotic entity, focused on trolling and inside jokes, but quickly evolved. Beneath the seemingly anarchic surface, a more serious and impactful philosophy began to emerge. The defense of free speech, transparency, and the fight against censorship and oppression became its fundamental pillars. What began as fun transformed into a global movement driven by deep ideals and the determination to challenge established powers. The decentralized structure of Anonymous is one of its greatest mysteries. Anyone, anywhere in the world can claim the title of Anonymous and participate in its operations. There are no visible leaders, just a shared ideology that unites its members under the iconic Guy Fawkes mask. But how did this seemingly disorganized group become one of the most feared in the digital world? What steps transformed a band of trolls into a real threat to corporations and governments? Get ready to explore some of its most famous operations and understand their impact. What you are about to discover may forever change your view on the power of digital resistance. Let's explore some of Anonymous's most notorious actions, revealing how their operations sent shockwaves through the digital world. Each event is an example of how the group used its skills to significantly impact its targets, generating both admiration and controversy. An embarrassing video of Tom Cruise, one of Scientology's most famous defenders, leaks online. In the video, Cruise makes exaggerated statements about the church, revealing an almost fanatical fervor. This video, intended only for church members, quickly goes viral. Scientology's reaction is immediate and aggressive. They try to remove the video from all platforms, seeing it as a severe threat to their public image. For Anonymous, this desperate attempt at censorship was seen as intolerable. Determined to combat this repression of free speech, the group decided to retaliate. Anonymous wanted to return the video to the public domain and expose the church's controversial and often abusive practices. Thus, Operation Chanology was born. This movement included DDoS, distributed denial of service, attacks to overload and take down Scientology's websites. Additionally, Anonymous leaked internal church documents, revealing questionable secrets and internal practices. The group also organized physical protests in front of Scientology churches worldwide, with demonstrators often wearing the iconic Guy Fawkes mask. The operation had a significant impact. Public awareness of Scientology's controversial practices increased. Media coverage was extensive and continuous, placing the church under intense public scrutiny. The church's attempts to suppress the information only drew more attention to the allegations of abuse and manipulation. Scientology suffered significant reputational damage, facing increased scrutiny and public pressure. Revelations about its internal practices led to increased criticism and distrust of the church. However, this battle also had its casualties. Some Anonymous members were identified, arrested, and prosecuted, paying a high price for their participation. Nevertheless, Operation Chanology solidified Anonymous's image as a group willing to confront censorship and fight for free speech, regardless of the opponent's power. Next, we will examine other Anonymous operations that continued to challenge and disrupt the established order in the digital world. In 2010, a digital storm began to form, targeting entities controlling online information access. Anonymous, known for its decentralized and unpredictable nature, turned its attention to the MPAA and ROA. These entities, representing the music and film industry's interests, had shut down file-sharing sites which Anonymous saw as a direct threat to internet freedom. Feeling compelled to respond to what they saw as censorship, Anonymous decided to act. The actions of the MPAA and RIAWA were viewed as attempts to control and restrict the flow of information, something the collective could not tolerate. Thus, Operation Payback was born, aiming to retaliate against these organizations and defend free information access. The chosen method was simple but devastating: DDoS, distributed denial of service, attacks. These attacks overloaded the targeted organization's servers, generating so much traffic that the sites were temporarily forced offline. It was a demonstration of digital power, using collective strength to hit critical infrastructures. The disruptions caused were significant. The websites of the MPAA, RIAWA, and other copyright organizations faced substantial outages. This attack showcased Anonymous's ability to quickly mobilize its members to execute coordinated actions, highlighting the vulnerability of major entities to digital resistance. The affected entities suffered not only service interruptions, but also reputational damage. Authorities responded swiftly and intensely. Legal investigations were initiated, leading to the arrest of several Anonymous members. This operation marked the beginning of an ongoing battle between the group and law enforcement, underscoring the risks involved in their actions and setting the stage for future operations. These actions showed that Anonymous did not hesitate to confront large organizations, but their influence and ambition extended further, involving themselves in global political issues such as the Arab Spring. Prepare to discover more about these operations and their impact on the global stage. Amid the turmoil of the Arab Spring, Anonymous focused its attention on Tunisia, where pro-democracy protesters faced severe repression from the government. The Tunisian government was suppressing dissenting voices and trying to silence protests against the regime of Zine El Abidine Ben Ali. Anonymous saw this as an opportunity to intervene, determined to support the protesters and expose government repression. Anonymous's strategy was direct and multifaceted. They carried out DDoS, distributed denial of service, attacks on Tunisian government websites, temporarily paralyzing the regime's digital platforms. Additionally, they leaked censored documents and provided technical support to protesters, helping protect their communications and identities online. The operation facilitated communication among protesters, allowing better coordination of demonstrations. The international exposure of government repression increased, putting Tunisia under the global spotlight and expanding the reach of regime denunciations. Pressure on the Tunisian government increased, contributing to President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali's downfall. However, the government's response was intense, resulting in even greater repression of activists and internet censorship. Anonymous's intervention highlighted the risks and repercussions of engaging in global political struggles. Next, we will explore how Anonymous continued to challenge authorities and expose perceived injustices, this time targeting cybersecurity firms. Prepare to uncover more about their operations and the impact they had on the global stage. In 2011, Anonymous encountered a new adversary, the cybersecurity firm HB Gary Federal and its CEO, Aaron Barr. The confrontation began when Barr claimed to have identified Anonymous leaders and planned to reveal their identities. Barr's threat posed a direct risk to the security and anonymity of Anonymous members. Determined to protect their identities and retaliate, Anonymous planned a response. Anonymous hacked into HB Gary Federal's home systems, obtaining emails and confidential documents. They then published these materials online, exposing the company's internal plans and communications. The operation aimed not only at retaliation, but also at exposing HB Gary Federal's vulnerabilities. HB Gary Federal's reputation was severely damaged. The exposure of internal documents forced Aaron Barr to resign. The operation demonstrated Anonymous's ability to effectively retaliate against threats, regardless of the adversary's position or power. The company suffered irreparable damage to its reputation and business. Aaron Barr lost his job and faced public humiliation. Meanwhile, the operation increased Anonymous's notoriety, but also intensified legal persecution against its members. Authorities responded swiftly, initiating investigations aimed at dismantling the group's structure. Anonymous did not limit itself to confronting companies and governments, but also took a stand against terrorist groups. Prepare to explore how the group faced new threats in its ongoing digital battle. In 2015, Anonymous directed its efforts towards a new global threat, the terrorist group ISIS. The goal was to combat ISIS's online presence and propaganda, dismantling its communication and recruitment capabilities. Anonymous sought to confront online terrorism and dismantle ISIS's presence on social media. ISIS's propaganda and communication were seen as powerful tools the group used to recruit new members and spread its ideology. The operation involved taking down ISIS-associated social media accounts, leaking information about its members, and promoting anti-ISIS propaganda to discredit the terrorist group. By overwhelming and deactivating these accounts, Anonymous aimed to significantly reduce ISIS's reach. The operation successfully reduced ISIS's online presence, hampering its communication and recruitment efforts. The anti-ISIS propaganda spread by Anonymous also helped demoralize and discredit the group on social media. ISIS had to seek new forms of communication, temporarily weakening its propaganda. However, this operation also put Anonymous members at risk of retaliation by the terrorist group. ISIS's response could include attempts to locate and attack Anonymous members, increasing the risks involved. Anonymous's involvement in United States political issues was also notable, especially during the 2016 presidential campaign. Let's explore how the group became involved in this scenario and the repercussions of their actions. In 2016, Anonymous turned its attention to the United States presidential campaign, specifically focusing on Donald Trump. The group viewed Trump's policies and rhetoric as divisive and harmful, deciding to act against his candidacy. Anonymous opposed Donald Trump's policies and rhetoric during his presidential campaign because they perceived his proposals and statements as highly divisive and damaging to the country. Determined to intervene, the group planned a series of actions aimed at destabilizing Trump's campaign. Anonymous employed a variety of tactics to achieve their objectives. They conducted distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks against websites associated with Trump, overwhelming servers and temporarily taking them offline. Additionally, they leaked personal information of campaign associates and promoted disinformation campaigns on social media to sow doubt and confusion. The operation sparked heated debates about the ethics of political hacktivism and polarized public opinion. While some supported Anonymous's actions, others criticized the interference in the electoral campaign. The resulting polarization further fueled controversy surrounding both Trump's campaign and Anonymous itself. Despite the disruptions caused by the operation, Trump's campaign continued, and he eventually won the election. The operation drew criticism from both the right and the left, with many questioning the legitimacy and ethics of Anonymous's actions. The intervention in the American electoral process raised concerns about the boundaries of hacktivism and the accountability of anonymous groups in the political arena. With so many impactful and controversial actions, various conspiracy theories emerged about Anonymous. Some suggest that the group may not be as independent as it appears, speculating about potential hidden financiers manipulating their operations for personal agendas. Let's explore these theories and attempt to uncover who might be behind the funding of Anonymous. Now, let's dive into even darker territory. Various conspiracy theories suggest that Anonymous is not as independent as it seems. Who could be behind the Guy Fawkes mask, pulling the strings and financing this enigmatic group's operations? Let's explore some of these theories pointing to foreign governments, billionaires, globalist organizations, and even dictators and authoritarian regimes. Some of the most persistent and unsettling theories suggest that Anonymous is funded by foreign governments, such as Russia or China, with the goal of destabilizing Western governments and promoting their own geopolitical agendas. Could these hidden powers be manipulating Anonymous as a secret tool of cyber warfare? Russia. There are theories suggesting that Russia uses Anonymous to interfere in elections and promote disinformation, creating chaos and distrust in Western institutions. China. Other theories claim that China exploits Anonymous to attack critical infrastructures in the West and steal confidential information, advancing its technological and economic interests. Another line of conspiracy theories points to billionaires and global elites, like George Soros, suggesting that they might be funding Anonymous. These theories allege that the group is a tool to manipulate global events and promote a hidden globalist agenda. George Soros, often a target of conspiracy theories, Soros is accused of using Anonymous to destabilize governments and promote globalist policies. Other elites. Some theories point to a consortium of global elites who manipulate Anonymous to influence markets, elections, and control public discourse. There are also theories suggesting that globalist organizations, such as the United Nations or the Bilderberg Group, might be funding Anonymous to pressure governments into adopting globalization-friendly policies. UN. Some conspiracy theories claim that the UN funds Anonymous to promote global policies and destabilize national governments opposing globalization. Bilderberg. Theories assert that groups like the Bilderberg Group use Anonymous to influence political and economic decisions, secretly manipulating global events. More controversial theories suggest that dictators and authoritarian regimes are behind Anonymous's funding, using the group to attack their enemies and promote their authoritarian agendas. Venezuela. Some theories suggest that Nicolas Maduro funds Anonymous to attack critics and opponents, maintaining his regime's power. Iran. Other theories claim that Ali Khamenei's regime uses Anonymous to destabilize Western governments and promote its authoritarian agenda. These conspiracy theories about Anonymous's funding add a layer of mystery and intrigue to the group's activities. Who is really behind Anonymous? The answers might be more disturbing than we imagine, challenging our understanding of this enigmatic collective's true nature. Although these theories are fascinating, it is important to note that, as of now, there is no concrete evidence to support any of them. Anonymous remains a decentralized group, and its true motivations can be as varied as its members. The ongoing legacy and relevance of Anonymous highlight the role of hacktivism in the digital age and the importance of transparency and free speech. What do you think of these theories? Leave your opinions in the comments and let us know if you believe Anonymous has external funding or if it is truly an independent group. And don't forget to suggest other topics related to cybercrimes that you would like to see in future videos.